Shylee earlier attends Yarrabilba State Secondary College and will be turning 14 very soon. Shylee lives at a home with her mum, stepdad, and some pet birds and scorpions. And Shylee and her friends regularly call her funny and outgoing. Shylee wants to talk today because there are a lot of other younger people out there who struggle with mental health. When it was announced that her school would be participating, Shylee saw all the people who wanted to apply were too scared to, but she wasn't scared to, but then realized that this is all for a good cause, and that she would be helping so many people. Shylee would like to thank everyone who is working to help young Australians. You're making a huge impact on their lives. Please welcome to the stage Shylee Early. Hello.
Okay. Hello and good morning, everyone. My name is Shylee. I'm in Year 9 and I actually did just turn 14. I live at home with my mum and dad, as you've already heard. The reason I chose to apply to Children's Voice is because there are a lot of, I saw a lot of people at my school who said that they wanted to apply just for the money. But then I also saw a lot of students who were scared to, like me, but they still wanted to get their message out. But after seeing that, I wasn't scared and I was eager to get my message out because I knew if I stepped up to the challenge, I could help so many others. Now I would like to ask you all to please participate in an audience survey and to be brave as I've been brave coming here today. I would like you to raise your hand if you've ever been affected by your own mental health. I would like you to keep your hand raised if you've been affected by somebody else's mental health. Please keep your hand raised if that was a child or youth's mental health that affected you or someone you know. Now, as you can see, although not all of your hands were up, mental health affects a lot of people. But what is mental health? In my eyes, mental health is the state and well-being of your mind and controls your thoughts, feelings, and your action. It doesn't just affect you, it affects the people around you. People can be misleading when it comes to mental health, thinking it's only things like depression and anxiety, but those are just mental health disorders. Mental health can be good and bad, but when your mental health gets bad, sometimes it takes a while for it to get good again and you need help from a counsellor or a psychologist, which leads me to my issue. The counselling system for young Australians. I've struggled with my own mental health in the past, so I thought I could bring my own personal stories to show you how real this issue is. When I first started having issues with my mental health, I had reached out to my parents, and we decided as a family it would be best if I went and saw the school counsellor and booked an appointment with my GP. But when I booked for an appointment at school, I never heard back from them. I even tried to book again, and I still didn't receive anything. I had to ask a teacher to help me book, and finally I got through. But when I went, they acted uninterested, and that made me feel as though my feelings weren't valid. Then when we got to my GP, I told them what had been happening, and they told me to book an appointment for a psychologist. But they also prescribed me medication. This medication was to help me sleep and to calm my anxiety. I hadn't had a diagnosis and they hadn't even bothered to check if the symptoms I had been talking about were an honest feeling. Despite this, I did as my GP told me to and started on a small dose. My parents tried to book an appointment with a psychologist, but they were really expensive, and so we settled for a counsellor. It didn't help. I was still really anxious and living in my head, thinking about everything I did every moment. I had actually gotten worse. I had to take days off school to go to therapy, and that had made me panic even more about assessments, making my issue worse. Still, I was just sent home with a higher dose of my medication. In the end, we had to stop sessions because we were paying over $300 a session, plus one of my parents was missing out on a day's pay because they had to take me. The medication was just making me forget everything I even forgot to think. Eventually, it was affecting the people around me, including my parents, so they made me stop taking the medication. But after one day, I'd felt so much better than I ever had on the medication. This shows that doctors, counsellors, and even psychologists look for an easy fix when dealing with patients. Instead of trying to come up with strategies to help, they just put them on medication. A lot of people I am close to are on medication prescribed by their doctors, and they say that their mental state is the lowest it has ever been. This issue is serious. Few places in Logan are designed to support mental health. The few existing ones are either full, cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, or the help is ineffective. 49.5% of young Australians have issue with their mental health at some point in their life. And that's only the reported cases. A lot of kids keep it hidden in fear of bullying and harassment, in fear of getting told they're lying, or even in fear of their parents and carers, because they are in fear of embarrassment or they don't believe in mental health. We don't want accessible mental health services. We need them. We need help to be affordable, and we need them to be accessed easily. We need people who actually want to listen to us instead of just thinking of it as a job, and no more easy fixes. My solution is to add free psychologists to all schools. This way, kids are able to easily access good and helpful mental health support. It also means that the psychologist can reach out to teachers and tell them what is going on with the student and making them aware of their situation. I also think it's vital to teach the signs of someone who is struggling with mental health and how to help them before it's too late. In conclusion, I know a lot of you are here in the audience only because it's your job or because you're here to watch your family, but I hope you have an open mind and listen to all of our ideas. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my speech.